has changed my life, and as of this video, I have under 1,000 subscribers. If you're new here, hi, my name is Courtney. I have been learning to sing to prove that it's possible and embarrassing myself on the internet every day. I have thought a long time about making this video, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of different types of these videos popping up all over YouTube recently. But this one's kind of different because not only do I have under the subscriber count that I mentioned, but I also have been pretty inconsistent on YouTube, and I'm just coming back to being consistent again. So I've been on YouTube for a few years now. I'd say actually posting videos for maybe about 2 years, but I've been on YouTube for way longer than that. And I've kind of gone through periods of making a ton of videos and being super consistent and posting one video a week or more, and periods of just like ghosting YouTube basically. And even though that's not necessarily like the traditional way of growing a YouTube channel or the traditional story behind these kind of videos, I kind of want to share my perspective on it coming from that place. Because even though as of right now I'm not necessarily a full-time content creator or have followed the traditional method of growing a YouTube channel, I've still learned a lot, and the way that I approach everything in my life has changed because of it, and I want to share those lessons with you. So the first lesson I kind of have learned from being a YouTuber is learning about who I am as a person. I am a multi-hyphenate, which means I have a ton of interests and a ton of passions, and it's really hard for me to focus on one thing. So when I was learning strategy of how to grow my YouTube channel and everyone was like, niche down, niche down, niche down, that was really difficult for me. It did not sit well with me. And so the approach that I've kind of taken, especially like towards the very beginning, was putting everything out there and seeing what resonated with me most. And through that process, I've learned a lot about myself. And even though there's a lot of different pockets of what I like to do or what I like to share with people, there's like a few common through lines throughout all of my content that truly are me at my core. I have always been the type of person that has had a lot of things that I've wanted to do, but I'm not naturally talented at any of them. Like acting is my first love, and anyone will tell you that I was the worst actor when I started. Same thing with dancing, same thing with color guard, same thing with singing, which is what we're going through right now. I'm extremely annoyingly persistent. I have this like irrational belief that like whatever I desire is meant for me, even if it's not natural to me. Like the desire is natural, but the skill is not. And so even though I have to work a lot harder than most people at all of these things, I know that it's meant for me. I know that it's meant for me to do that thing. And even though sometimes I get discouraged, like I am going through that with singing right now, where it just feels like I'll never get better and I'll never be good enough, I've seen the proof in the other things that I've done. For example, color guard. If you don't know what color guard is, it's dancing with flags, rifles, and sabers like the marching band. Yeah, I've been doing color guard for over a decade, probably almost 15 years now. And I've even created a company around color guard. It's called Simply Color Guard. You should check it out. It teaches you how to do color guard. But I was awful. No one wanted me on their team. Like I got cut from so many different programs. And I am so lucky that some of those programs actually did give me a chance because I grew through them, and it's one of my favorite things in the world now. And not only is it one of my favorite things in the world, but I am a really good performer. Like I am really good at color guard, but I didn't start that way. I started from being the worst person on the team, the person that was getting yelled at every single rehearsal, to becoming the leader, to becoming the captain, to becoming the choreographer and the instructor. And so that's fulfilled me in my life so much. And I feel like, especially with the internet and especially with social media, all we see are finished products. It discourages people who want to do the same thing from actually trying because they think they have to be that finished product at the beginning. And so I think throughout all of my content, no matter what it is, no matter what I'm talking about, that through line is showing the journey. Showing the journey to show that I am an unfinished person. Showing the journey to show that I am not perfect, that you can do anything you set your mind to, but sometimes there's a building process in between beginning and making progress. And there needs to be more of that on the internet, in my opinion, because I don't see a lot of it. That's why the singing journey content is so important to me. And even though it's embarrassing, and even though sometimes I feel like awful and embarrassed putting that stuff on the internet, I think it's important to show people that it's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to be bad at something. It doesn't mean that you'll be bad at that thing forever. And it doesn't mean that it's not meant for you. The second thing that I've learned about is discipline and consistency. And I know that sounds weird because I've been so inconsistent on YouTube, but hear me out. There's a reason I've learned that. So obviously posting videos on YouTube, editing them, putting them up, trying to market them on different social media platforms takes a lot of persistence, and it takes a lot of discipline. Throughout my content creator journey so far, I've gone through a lot of ups and downs in life where I've been like on it and things have been going really great in my life. So I would make more content because I felt like I had more creative freedom and more time. And then there were times when I was really depressed and I was struggling in a lot of different areas in my life, and so the content kind of fell off because I was just trying to survive. And so part of dealing with that is, number one, understanding and being okay with those points in life where it is lower, or those points in life where you feel like all you can do today is wake up, and that's good enough for today, and being okay with that, giving myself and yourself grace for that, but also taking advantage of those highs and when you feel that creative freedom. The thing that I've been working on recently though is kind of marrying the two, so that I am creating when I feel like it, but I'm also finding ways to create when it's a little bit harder. And so something that's helped me a lot, and something that I've learned through trying to navigate that within this journey, has been to create for the future version of myself. I'm a procrastinator, I'll admit. It's something that I'm working on, okay? But one thing about me is that if someone asks me to do something, I'm gonna follow through for them. Like, I will do and put myself in extremely uncomfortable situations, which is probably not a good thing all the time. But I will do anything for other people when they need me. But for myself, nah. Yeah, it's a flaw. Something that's helped me do more for me and actually follow through with the promises that I make with myself and for myself, like creating content consistently, has been to treat myself like another person. And I know that sounds like a lot, but stay with me for a second. A good way to conceptualize this is like, you are not the same person you were a year ago, because you've gone through new things and you've met different people and you've shifted your perspective slightly on the world. But I think of that as moment to moment, like every single moment I am changing. And so the version that I am right now, while making this video, is not the same person that is going to be posting this video. And so the way that I get over procrastination is by using that separation of identities in order to do something for future version of me. So if I do what I'm supposed to do now, even when I'm feeling kind of like bleh and depressed, and like doing what I can when I can now, and then a year from now, a few years from now, that version of me is gonna live a much more comfortable life. And she's gonna be able to show up for other people in a more consistent, more authentic way, because she's not gonna be stressed about the things that I'm stressed about now. And so making those sacrifices, or really following through with what I need to do now, is going to help her. If there's anything that I can do to make someone else's life better, I'm gonna do it, even if it's my own, in the future, for that girl who doesn't exist yet. One of the biggest lessons I've learned has been getting over the fear of being seen. And it's weird because I'm an actor and I'm a performer and I love performing. But I think that's why I'm a performer, because I love performing, but it's scary for people to see me. And so creating content and forcing myself to put out really vulnerable content that makes me nervous, like not being perfect while I'm doing my warm-ups or while I'm singing or even just talking to you here, is helping me let go of that fear and understand that it's okay to be seen. In fact, it's gonna help people. And I think this lesson is really important because it's something that is following me through all areas of my career. And I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes I post videos and I wanna take them down immediately. And I have taken them down immediately because I'm getting negative feedback, or I just wasn't good enough in that video, even though the point of the video is to show that it's okay to be messy and it's okay to not be polished and perfect. It's something that I'm still constantly moving through, like right now. But I feel like that's a fear that a lot of people do have, especially people who want to be content creators. And so just starting to make these videos and posting them, taking messy action, if you will, has helped me get over that fear. And lastly, I think the biggest thing that I've learned and the biggest thing that has changed my life and my perspective on how I live my life just from creating content on YouTube has been understanding that it's not about me. This kind of ties in a little bit with my first point, but people have told me things that I've needed to hear. And I've watched videos that have helped me in my life. And if they had never posted them, who knows where I would be. At the end of the day, I'm not posting these videos for me. I'm posting these videos so that even the 3 people that watch them can learn something, and hopefully it can help them in their life. I feel like if I have a desire for something and a strong pull towards doing something, then there's a reason for it, and that reason, especially on social media, may be to connect with people in a way that we all need, that I need, that you need, that Joe Schmo needs. So yeah, I feel like a lot of my points are kind of like woo-woo, but that's the way my brain works, so. I hope as I continue to make content that obviously I want this platform to grow, but I keep discovering new sides of myself. I keep discovering new sides and perspectives about the world, and that I just keep growing and learning, because that's what this is. It's a messy journey. Why do anything if we're already perfect at it? There would be no point. If you want to go on this journey with me, you should subscribe and like this video so it gets pushed out to more people for selfish reasons, but also for non-selfish reasons. Let's just say it's for non-selfish reasons, but it's a little for selfish reasons. But thank you so much for watching. Sending love your way, and I will see you next week because I'm being consistent now. Bye.